So, a so-called pride mural, painted on a busy street intersection in Florida, was intentionally driven on to leave an ugly skid mark, and I'm supposed to be shocked and appalled by this. Well, I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, Newark, New Jersey's newly erected statue of a junkie criminal turned Christ figure can receive the same iconoclastic treatment. Call it an equity and mutual respect towards your monuments to narcissistic degeneracy, as you have treated our statues to national heroes and icons of civil service and self-sacrifice just last year. The only thing that's stunning about your lot now is your audacity to demand empathy and respect from those you've brazenly mischaracterized and mistreated for a decade, and somehow still think you're the righteous ones. Now, I know that your next argument is going to be that the driver's actions were motivated by some politically convenient Istophobic label. The funny thing about that is, it seems that the majority of my gay friends and associates, those of whom your shitty movement presumes to represent, hate everything that this burning train wreck of a flag represents. Because this might come as a shock to you, in spite of just how educated you like to pride yourselves on. I mean, aside from your preferred perversions, gays, lesbians, trans, and BIPOCs, just like every other demographic in the world, are merely human, not the fucking Borg, with a variety of nuanced opinions and perspectives more diverse than your bullshit gender spectrum. And they are fed up with your insistence that you have some monopoly in being their one and only public voice. Because my homosexual friends and associates all seem to know that your movement isn't about them anymore. No, it's about Marxist subversion of American liberties, and you just exploit gay, trans, and black people. You use them like human shields to politically inoculate yourself from all legitimate social criticism. Criticism that the political establishment, in concert with big tech, has censored and vilified on your behalf for a better part of a decade, yet you still have the gall to call yourselves oppressed and the underdog class. Long gone are the days of Harvey Milk and the gay movement's position that they're just normal people capable of forming stable, monogamous relationships and just want to live in privacy and in peace. And within 20 years' time, America became primarily sympathetic to these reasonable and humble demands, paralleling the spirit of American principles of life, liberty, and property, and you're listening to a man who in his adolescent punk years physically defended his gay friends from violent queer bashers and have the scars to prove it. Now, those who represent this devolved and degenerated movement today, those who weren't even born when I was taking boots and fists to my face on behalf of my gay friends, are now lecturing me on my supposed heteronormative privilege or whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, for daring to suggest that heterosexuality is the biological standard for the continuation of life. Their parades are now just obnoxious, voyeuristic public displays of fetishism, which would be just as disgusting if we straights were doing it, and they moved beyond politicizing their personal lives to dictating how the rest of us should think, should feel, should speak, should vote, should behave, should raise our kids, and make a living. Just like the fucking communists they've truly become. They wrap themselves in rainbows just to hide the dubious red underneath. Ever notice where the majority of rainbow flags and BLM fists are publicly displayed? Not in the ghettos. Not in old factory towns ruined by 30 years of economic globalism. Nope. You find them mostly in primarily white college towns and bedroom communities, with a median income of over $100,000 a year. And now why do you suppose that is? There are more woke sycophants per capita among the wealthy and politically connected than the fucking working class. And the only logical reason that I can conclude from this, since I don't expect a remotely sensible rebuttal from those who graduated from college within the last decade, it is simply this. The more we filthy peasants are being distracted by stupid shit like who and how we like to fuck, the less likely we'll come to the consensus that all of us, equally, are being increasingly fucked by the upper 1% of the upper 1%, the most bigoted, non-inclusive group there is, and the one who weaponized your woke activism to begin with.